it's Tessa from HandleTheHeat.com, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make homemade cake donuts. These donuts have no yeast, so they're actually surprisingly quick and easy and are basically fried perfection. They're beautifully golden brown and slightly crisp on the outside and tender and soft on the inside. I'm going to be showing you step by step how to make these, along with my favorite ways to sweeten and glaze them and some fun toppings we can put to make them so much more beautiful and delicious. So if you'd like to learn how to make these cake donuts, then just keep watching.
So to get started with our cake donuts, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of fine salt, and half a teaspoon of nutmeg. And the nutmeg is optional, but it's really what gives donuts their characteristic donutty flavor. And by the way, that was 1 whole tablespoon of baking powder, which will help them kind of puff up once they go into the fryer. In my stand mixer, I am adding 2/3 cup of granulated sugar, 1 large egg plus 1 egg yolk, and it's important that these are at room temperature so that they mix really nicely. And I am actually going to attach my paddle attachment and beat this mixture until it is very thick and pale. It'll take about 5 minutes at medium-high speed. This is going to help give the donuts a nice light, airy texture while still being kind of crisp on the outside. They're not quite as airy as yeast donuts. They kind of have their own thing going for them, which is why I love them so much. And now we just add a little bit of extra flavor in the form of 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And now I'm actually going to alternate between adding in that flour mixture that we just combined with 3 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter and half a cup of sour cream. I'm just going to go back and forth between adding a little bit of these ingredients one at a time, starting and ending with the flour. And this is going to give me a nice thick dough basically. And after this comes together, I'm actually going to let it sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes or until the flour has absorbed more of the moisture and it becomes firm enough to handle and shape. So as you can see, it's coming together more thick, and now we're just gonna let it sit for 30 minutes and then we can roll it out. Also, by the way, the dough you can totally refrigerate and make ahead of time for up to like 1 or 2 days. Just make sure it's well covered or sealed. So on a lightly floured work surface, I'm going to roll the dough out to a 1/4 inch thickness and use my handy donut cutter, which I'll link to in the description box below, to cut out donuts. You can make any shape or size you'd like. And once I have a 1/4 inch thickness, I'm going to go ahead and cut out my dough. And I'm making regular donuts with donut holes, and then I also wanted to make some other like donuts without the holes because I love to top my donuts with M&M candies, mini M&Ms. And they stick on so much better if it's just one big flat surface, which you'll see in just a second. So as you're working with, this is the flat surface I was talking about. As you're working with the donuts, make sure to keep the dough covered while you heat the oil and while you fry the remaining donuts so it doesn't dry out. So I've actually heated peanut oil in a large, deep Dutch oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a candy thermometer here so I can know the temperature is perfect. And I'm placing 3 or 4 donuts in at a time, and I'm frying for about 1 minute per side or until golden brown. If you're doing the donut holes, they'll take maybe not even 30 seconds per side. I'm going to use my little skimmer here to drain them on a paper towel lined plate once they're all golden brown and delicious. And I'm using peanut oil here, which is my favorite frying oil, but you can totally use canola oil or vegetable oil. And the donuts that I created that were just basically big circles that don't have holes will take a little bit longer if you wanted to make donuts that shape. And if you're making bars, that will take even longer than that. And after the donuts are all fried, while they're still warm, you can toss them in powdered sugar for a really simple way to finish them off. It just adds that extra layer of sweetness, and I love powdered sugar donuts. However, what I love even more is donuts covered in my favorite thick fudgy chocolate glaze. So to make a chocolate glaze, we combine 1 stick of unsalted butter, a 1/4 cup of whole milk, and a tablespoon of light corn syrup in a small saucepan. I'm also adding in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I'm just going to put this over low heat until the butter is melted. And then I'm adding in 4 ounces of chopped semi-sweet chocolate, and I'm going to give that a whisk until it's all melted and smooth. And then we add in 2 cups of sifted powdered sugar. It's really important to sift the powdered sugar, otherwise your glaze will have lumps in it and it won't look very good at all. So I have the powdered sugar and the rest of the ingredients, and I'm going to give that a whisk until it comes together in a nice thick glaze, and then go ahead and dip my donuts in that glaze. And once the glaze is set, it becomes really difficult to add in any toppings. So straight after you dip your donuts, you want to add in any sprinkles or mini M&Ms or anything that you want to top your donuts with. I personally love rainbow sprinkles because they're so cute and they add a little bit of crunch. I just use the Wilton brand. I get them at Michael's, or oftentimes the grocery store baking section will have tons of sprinkle options. But my recent favorite has been mini M&Ms. They add the perfect layer of crunch and flavor, and it's just like so good. It's candy on top of a donut. I mean, what gets better than that in life in general? And don't they look so fun and delicious? Super easy to make, super quick. It only takes maybe an hour, 2 hours from start to finish, and of course I have to snap it.
Alright guys, so that is exactly how you make these adorable homemade cake donuts. It's so easy and this recipe is super fun, but these techniques can be used for just about any homemade cake donut recipe, but my favorite one is going to be linked below in the description box. So if you'd like the full recipe that you can print out and take into the kitchen with you, be sure to check out that link below. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and be sure to let me know what you'd like to see next time in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you around soon.